In a low stance defensively, matched up with Mitchell. Fires up a three. Kelsey Mitchell!
The struggle Kelsey Mitchell. Indiana's showdown with Connecticut was more than just another date on the schedule. It felt like a make-or-break moment. After a season stacked with setbacks and missed opportunities, this game carried weight. The Fever were clinging to playoff hopes, but consecutive losses to Dallas and Washington, teams sitting lower in the standings, had stripped away their margin for error. And as the first half played out, the outcome looked inevitable. The script seemed written, finished. The season felt as though it was slipping away for good. The offense stalled. Connecticut kept widening the gap. The scoreboard was a harsh reminder of reality. Indiana looked flat. Fans at home could sense it. The bench wore the frustration on their faces. Every misfire, every sloppy turnover. With 9 games still ahead, it already felt like hope was fading in front of their eyes.
Step back three-pointer. Left it short. Mitchell now 0 for 4. Run out. Rivers explode. 0 for 4. Run out. Rivers explode.
But basketball has a way of spinning despair into drama. On this night, Indiana, and Kelsey Mitchell above all, delivered a rally that will live in memory. In a few weeks, this game might be remembered as the turning point of the Fever's season. And for Caitlin Clark, watching from the sidelines, it may be recalled as the symbolic moment where belief returned. Before diving into the comeback, let's set the stage with an iconic phrase that fits perfectly.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win.
Edwards' famous words echo across sports history. You play to win the game. Simple, sharp, undeniable. No excuses, no justifications, no matter the injuries, the scoreboard, or the odds. You step on the floor to compete, to fight. And that's why this particular game hit so deeply. Indiana had every reason to fold. Another cruel twist, a major injury, this time to Sophie Cunningham. Midway through the game, she dropped in visible pain, unable to rise. Trainers rushed over. She couldn't put full weight on her leg. Her expression said it all. This wasn't minor. This was devastating. The timing couldn't have been worse. Already without Caitlin Clark. Already without Sydney Colson. Already without Aari McDonald. Now Sophie, one of the team's sparks and vital shooters, was gone. The frustration was palpable. At this point, it didn't feel like bad luck. It felt cruel. Just as momentum would build, it was snatched away again. Sophie's family had enough. They blasted the league on social media, furious at the officiating and lack of protection for players.
We got Sophie's sister Lindsay and her mom Paula. At WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game, protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie Cunningham. And Sophie's mother, Paula. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control.
With Colson, McDonald, and Clark already sidelined, this looked like the straw that broke the camel's back. Indiana trailed by 21 against the league's weakest team, a game they had to win. Nothing worked. The offense stalled, the defense collapsed. The players' body language on the bench told the whole story. Even through a TV screen, it was clear. Players and fans alike were ready to surrender.
One of your starters goes down, one of your leaders goes down. And after that, it did feel like the morale of the team was down for the first half, and they went into halftime being down 20 points. And I thought, I was on live, you guys heard it from me, I was like, okay, this game's done. Like, they just can't get out of it. The morale of the team is done. Seeing Sophie go down, like, maybe this team just doesn't have any fight left in them. And I was actually ready to give them a pass as well. I was like, you know what? It's been a hard season. And at some point, you might just have to throw in the towel and be like, you know what? We will get after it next season. It is what it is.
The season had already been buried, and everyone was resigned to it. A lost cause. 9 games still to play, but belief already gone. And then, It happened. Indiana flickered back to life. It didn't start with fireworks. It began quietly. A Kelsey Mitchell free throw, then a floater in the lane, then a smooth three-pointer. Turned suddenly, the energy shifted. The same shots that missed earlier started dropping. At 5:37 in the third quarter, the 21-point deficit was trimmed to 14. By the end of the quarter, it was down to 11. For the first time that night, the crowd came alive. The atmosphere flipped. You could feel momentum sliding in Indiana's direction. Section 947. Door opens. Connecticut still led, but the gap wasn't safe anymore. Indiana had cracked the door open, and Kelsey Mitchell was ready to kick it wide. Section 8. Mitchell erupts. With the season on the line, Kelsey Mitchell went nuclear. At 8:38, she buried a three. Next possession, she slashed to the basket and sank both free throws. The once safe lead was evaporating. Then Lexi Hull joined the party. Wide open in the corner, she fired and nailed it. After weeks of shooting,
essentially, I thought, well, I wasted my day watching this game and going live for it. Then cue the end of the third quarter. The momentum shifted and the Fever started chipping away at this enormous lead that the Connecticut Sun had on them. For the majority of the game, I would say that the lead was around 15, 16 points, and they got it down to 8 points, and Kelsey Mitchell started heating up.
the bench exploded. Every possession mattered. Odyssey Sims became a wrecking ball, attacking the basket, drawing fouls, earning 9 free throws through sheer aggression. Brianna Turner, a player who hadn't seen much floor time lately, checked in and gave Indiana pure grit on defense. She didn't score, but her +10 ± told the story. By the end of regulation, Mitchell had dragged Indiana all the way back. The scoreboard read 84-84, deadlocked. The impossible had become reality. Coach Stephanie White pumped her fist. The bench roared as if the win was already theirs. The comeback was complete, and the extra period belonged to Indiana. Mitchell scored at will. First a layup, then back-to-back threes. She wasn't just hot, she was unstoppable. Connecticut unraveled. Shots rimmed out. Passes stalled. Indiana smelled blood. And then came the final dagger. Brianna Turner drew the defense and kicked it to the corner. Lexi Hull rose, released, and drilled it. Swish. Game over. Indiana on top.
As a matter of fact, this was the largest comeback in Indiana Fever franchise history. And it was funny because there were so many people cheering in Connecticut for the Indiana Fever when all this was happening. There was actually just so many Fever fans in Connecticut. As a matter of fact, when Marina Mabrey went on the court in the beginning of the game, they booed her. Imagine getting booed in your own arena.